Hello, everyone. My name is Jordan Sutton, and I am the author of Take Back What the Devil Has Stolen from You. And what I want to get up here to talk about today is the movie that I just saw called The Purge. Now, I never seen the first one. I haven't seen the second one, so I really didn't have any idea of what the movie consists of. Well, you know what? I had some type of, I guess the only thought I just had about it was that you know, people go and kill for one night and one day, and people have to survive the best way that they can. From what I thought of the movie, but remind you, I never saw the second one, never saw the first one or second one. Okay, never saw any of the installments, but this is the third one that just came out. So my mom and my sister, insisted for me to see the movie, even though I wouldn't have any idea what was going on. And I just asked, I was like, do I need to see the first one and the second one to kind of catch up with what's going on or what? Is it one of those movies? But when I got there, I had no idea what was in store. Y'all, when I left that movie theater, all I could do was just keep breathing like, during throughout the movie, I held my thumb. Sometimes that's what I do. I don't know why. I just hold my thumb real hard. It's like, oh my gosh, because the movie was so tense. Um, it was so suspenseful, very anticipating. So, but mind you, now I'm trying to stay away from really watching those secular movies. It had a lot of cursing in there, had a lot of had a lot of things in there. Okay, so if you are, whew, if you are trying to go further in your spiritual walk, and you don't want no profanity, none of that, stay away from it. Okay, stay away from it. This ain't um that ain't gonna sit right with your spirit. Shoot, it didn't sit well with my spirit, okay? Whoa, but you know what? That's crazy when before I watched the movie, I feel like the Lord was just saying to me, um, you're gonna have to pray before you watch this, okay? You're gonna have to really pray. So and mind you, just to let you know, um, I watch horror movies, but not like that. Okay, not like that. All right, my mom and my sister are, more of the fans of sci-fi, chiller, and those type of things. I watch them, but I gotta be careful. Okay, so anyway, y'all, just getting down to the movie, The Purge. Oh man, it was tense. All right, it was really tense. Um, what was very interesting from what my mom and my sister was telling me is that this was actually the most violent one. I was like, y'all could have gave me some warning. I mean, they never seen it before, but it's like y'all could have gave me some warning. Y'all could have gave me something. Um, I don't know. Like again, I didn't know what was in store because I never seen for the part one or two. But when I got there, it started off. Let me just go ahead and break it down like this here. Basically, what the government of the movie was doing was trying to um, go into low income neighborhoods where there's a lot of minorities, African Americans, Mexicans, or whomever, elderly people. What they were trying to do is actually come up with a way, I guess, a government funded experiment program in where they wanted to annihilate the minorities because of the population. They say that they're not able to afford. Let me see. Was I paying? I was paying attention, y'all. It was my first time. So he said they're not able to afford it. Afford something. I'm not sure what it was. I forgot what it was. It was something dealing with taxes. Um, Basically they felt like they were a burden to society and they can no longer afford to keep such a large huge population, so why not target the low income neighborhoods? Now I'm not sure how they did it part one, part two, but that's what they did on part three. Okay, and so there was this character up here. What was her? I don't know the names. Okay, so again, I'm still kind of shaken up by the movie. I said, whoo. I said, looking at movies like that make you want to, you know, think twice about, being safe, being protected. You know what I'm saying? Being strapped up. You never know. Um, but anyway, like I said, if you are, in your spiritual journey and you are trying to reach a higher level in God, I wouldn't recommend you to watch the movie. Now, I will, the only reason why I would recommend someone to watch the movie is for educational purposes. It kind of gives you like this thing where it's just like this thought where in your mind is just like, okay, I know this is just a movie, but is it just a movie? Like, is this something that the government is really trying to do? You know what I'm saying? Like, think about it with the police brutality. Think about it with the abortion clinics. Think about the purging that they're doing every day. Especially in the minority community, especially in our community, African American community. So it's just kind of like, and then not to mention the black on black crime. And it's like if they really wanted to stop the crime, they could, but it works out in their benefit. You know what I'm saying? In all ways. So, but anyway, but when I watched the movie, y'all, I was just taken back. I'm not trying to like give out any spoilers. And not that I have like a big platform, a big YouTube platform or anything like that. So nobody would, I guess, pay attention. Not as many people would pay attention, but when you see the movie for yourself, you're going to be shaken up. Okay. My mom and them told me this was the most violent one that they had. All kinds of immoral things that were going on with it in there. It just shows you the character and the heart of human nature. I don't want to say of everyone, but of human nature. The immoral things that they're willing to do if they could get away with it. You know what I'm saying? If there was no consequences, if there wasn't nothing that was going to be done about their actions. It just shows you. It just shows you how immoral some people are willing to be. I mean, shoot, it's like that today, So what I got from the movie is so many lessons, okay? So many deeper lessons. And the fact that they was targeting that the low income neighborhood. And here's the thing, I'll give a little away, not too much. They thought that since it was a black neighborhood or a minority neighborhood, they thought that people was going to be, wilding out, killing everybody, boom, 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 this and that, right? Because we're natural, because the stereotype, I guess, on us is that we're just angry. We were just angry. But they was actually shocked and surprised that it wasn't that much killing going on. It was just one or two, and it's still all wrong. Don't get me wrong. It's all wrong. But they thought it was just going to be, the neighborhood was going to burn down. They thought black people, they just thought that they were going to take their own kind out. But they saw it wasn't like that. They were throwing parties, immoral parties. There was, woo. Like I said, if you're a strong spiritual person, I don't recommend for you to see that. Like I said, I didn't know what I walked into. Had I known it would have, had I known it was going to be like that, I probably would have had turned it down. But see, it also gave me a lot of educational insight on the reality purge in America, okay, and what's been going on. There's been a purge since the Middle Passage. Okay, they've been, hey, but that's just what I just have to say. Just make sure that if you saved, then pray, be prayed up. I don't recommend, like I said, I don't recommend a saved person to see that movie. Like I said, I didn't know what I walked into. Yeah, I had an idea. This say rated R. I'm not gonna say that I didn't expect, not to see, cursing. I'm not gonna say I didn't expect that, but it's like, ooh, to that degree. Woo, boy, I walked out that movie theater shaking up, y'all. I was just like, man, stuff like this is, I don't know, make you want to think twice. Should you in the future down the road, have you a weapon or something? Jesus is always the ultimate protection. Never forget that. And something else that I want to say about that movie. Now, they had this girl, she had like braids. I like her braids, by the way. I don't know her name. Of the character, but she was it was her and her brother, and she was kind of like an activist in the community. She kind of she was against that program. Of course, she was against the drugs being in the neighborhood, in the community. She was very outspoken. And then there was a guy who she knew. I think he was like the top. He was like the kingpin. I guess of running the operation of drugs and having these guys on the street corners and everything. And, but she knew him long time. I mean, she knew him in childhood. You know what I'm saying? She knew him in childhood. She knew him before he became that way. So they had like a special bond and a special connection. And And it's just like, wow, it's just crazy how even though they grew up in the same place, same area, and they used to go together, it's just funny how this one went here and he went here, but they were still together. They were still connected in some way. Um, and I guess I'm bringing that up is because it's we can be so quick to be, you know, I guess judgmental a little bit on no, not judgmental, just being the, just using our discernment. I ain't gonna say judgmental, but just if we saw someone that was evolved in that type of life, we of course we would separate. Of course we would remove ourselves as people of faith. But the fact that she still saw something good in him is basically what I'm saying. The fact that she didn't really, in the back of her mind, she didn't really give up on him. Now she wasn't with him. Now she didn't, she had enough sense not to, they wasn't dating or anything, but you know, you can still tell that there was something still there. But hey, they end up, hey, but I know I'm trying not to give it away. I'm trying not to give so much away. Um, but I'm gonna tell y'all something real. I'm gonna be honest with you. Now, normally, I guess that's how I would react. Keep it separate. Still say hey, whatever. But I ain't gonna lie. The main character, the one that was coming in there, he kind of he kind of looked like Wesley Snipes, but not quite. Dude was strong. Dude was coming up in the hallways. He took up. You know what? He was someone that you would consider that was against the community because he was the one that was pushing the drugs into the community. He was the one that he was a part of it. But when he saw that the U.S. government was trying to take out his people and trying to take out his community, his neighborhood, I think this was in Long Island, New York, by the way. It was just like, he just stood up and just said, you know what, they're not going to take us out like this. And you know what, the movie is just really sad, y'all. All of this killing, all of this immoral things that was just going on, like it was no conscience. And I thought when I was looking at it, I was like, Lord, is this, I know this is just a movie, but is this how it's like to be reprobate? To have your conscience taken away from you? There is no right or wrong. Is this how it is when you give them over to themselves? Is that how it is? Just a little bit? In a way, even though, is this how Sodom and Gomorrah was? And what I mean by that of the movie is that when I'm asking that question, I'm not talking about necessarily orientation, but the rebellion of sin, the rebellion of it. How people are willing to get into this, how people are willing to devalue, degrade, demean themselves beneath and below to do all kinds of things that somebody with a conscience wouldn't have done. Is that what you is? And what I mean by Sodom and Gomorrah, I mean by rebellion. You know what I'm saying? Rebellion against the right thing. Murdering is not right, but you're willing to come across the corner and just, it reminded me of that game, Five Nights at Freddy, that my brother had. I couldn't, play that either. Like I said, I'm not a horror fan person, and as a spiritual person, that's not good. Okay, that's not good for your spirit. Remember, we got to be very careful and very aware of what we engage in. Okay, so like I said, had I known it would have been like that to that degree, I wouldn't, seen it. It was just so much, y'all. It was just so much. But that guy that took a stand, to fight for his community and his neighborhood, and he was really seen and considered the bad guy. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I like that. I don't like thugs. No, 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 no. But the fact that he stood up, that was very admirable. That was very admirable. And he was willing to put his life on the line to protect um, his people, or mostly, I guess his girlfriend, well, his ex-girlfriend, it was just like, wow. This guy that was pushing drugs and all this in the community, he was willing to fight, y'all. He was just so strong, y'all. He reminded me of the Black Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's what he reminded me of. He reminded me of Wesley Snipes, Blade. you know, y'all, whew, the movie was good, but I was kind of shaken up. I was shaken up because it's just so many, of course, and then it makes you wonder about so many conspiracy theories. But it's important not to, have your mind wonder, 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 and wonder, and wonder, and wonder, um, about this, about endless, endless situations, endless, you know, mm, y'all. I'm just sitting there just thinking, like, man, if I would have known, I'm shaking up, and it have you like a little paranoid, just a little bit. And I thought I saw some people get out of leave out of the theater, but maybe they was just going back to the bathroom and just coming back or whatever. But yeah, that's my review so far. Now I know this wasn't really the best clear review of the movie, but I tried to talk without giving so much away. Sorry if I did talk in circles and there were some things that may have been confusing, but I'm still working on this. This is like my first time, so. But y'all, it's just like we need to come back to the Most High. We need to come back to the Lord, and because people are plotting secretly, you never know, and that just made me just think like, wow, what people are willing to do if they were paid. What people, I mean, it's kind of like that now, but to see it to that degree where people are just slicing people up just without no care, without no doubt, bombs, and then what was so crazy is this one here was racial. And I'm not sure how the first and second one was, but this one here was racial. They had black faces. They sent the KKK there to these apartments. The government was involved to take them down, y'all. It's like, Lord, is this really a movie, or Lord, is this is something that might? I mean, you're not trying to like be super paranoid, but you know what's important is we about to have the Lord. We about to have him. We about to have him. Let me tell you something. We about to have him. We about to return. We got to return back to his ways, his laws, his statute and commandments, y'all. We got to. All people. All people. All people. Okay. So that's just to give you just a little bit of, of what my intake is and what my insight of how the movie was. Whew. Y'all, I don't know. I might have to take some shooting practices or something, in the future. I know that's not, popular to say, and but whew, Lord Jesus, mm But I like how strong that guy was. I really did. Now the brother, now her brother, now he got on our nerves. I saw it with my mom and my sister. He got on my nerves, y'all. It was like he wanted this revenge because this dude made him look like a punk in front of his guys, and and everything like that. But man, bro, that wasn't worth it. And they have you put these contacts in. Like, it's so demonic. It's just, y'all, I don't know, y'all. This is, it just remind me of something that they might do in the last days. Shoot, it's unfolding in front of our eyes, but it's just on a lower scale and on a lower level, So make sure that you stay strong and you stay prayed up, and you make sure that you are connected with the Lord, that you are not ruled by fear. Amen. We do not operate and run under fear. Amen. Because the Most High will put his shield, what I'm saying? He will protect us. He'll put his shield on us, He'll shield us from these things, But we gotta really seek him out. We gotta really want him, and that's what he really wants. That's why there's so much stuff going on and happening, especially within our community. He wants us to come back to him. He feel like we forgot about him. But that's all I'm gonna just say for right now. So, whew, I'm just shaking up, y'all. Let me hurry up and get off of here. This video had no business being 18 minutes at all, but y'all, it was just so much going on. It was just so much going on. But y'all be strong, y'all be safe, y'all be encouraged, and always remember that the best is yet to come. And the fact that guy sit there and took up for the bad guy took up for his neighborhood and his community, the same one that he affects that he negatively impact every day. Y'all, that was great. It just shows you that was a lesson in the moral of there's still hope and redemption for those you think are lost. There's still hope and redemption for those who are in some things. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think the guy was necessarily really even a bad guy. What he was doing was bad, but I don't really think he was a bad guy. But the fact that he was willing to step up, and how some of the people in the neighborhood was willing to come together to fight this thing. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That shows you a lot. There is still hope and redemption. There is still hope and redemption. So, but anyway, my name is Jordan Sutton. Y'all be blessed. Y'all click on those links below, and always remember that the best is yet to come. Stay tuned for Coffee Talk with Jay, and give yourself to the Lord. Give all of yourself to the Lord. Give all of yourself to the Lord. He gonna show you how to fight like David. He gonna show you some things. You know what I'm saying? You may not need what you think you need. David had a slingshot and 5 stones. You know what I'm saying? Against all of this stuff that Goliath had in his army. Come to him. He'll show you. Look, he gonna show you. You know, he's gonna show you how to stand for yourself in these end times, in these last days. Is what I'm saying. Because you never know what they're secretly plotting, what people are secretly plotting. You know. So anyway, let me get off here because I don't want to make this sound like a conspiracy video. Okay. So be blessed and remember that the best is yet to come. I'm Jordan Sutton. And be encouraged. Thanks for tuning in. God bless.